Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a comprehensive analysis of Elbit Systems Ltd, ticker ESLT, a major player in the aerospace and defense sector. If you're looking to understand this stock's potential for your portfolio, stick around because we're covering everything from financials to valuation, recent performance, and more. Let's get started. So why are we talking about Elbit Systems today? Well, this Israeli-based company has been making waves in the defense industry, especially with recent geopolitical tensions driving demand for their cutting-edge technology. They've got a massive order backlog and some impressive growth numbers that caught my eye. I want to break down whether this stock, currently trading at a pretty lofty valuation, is worth considering for long-term investors like us. Let's dig into who they are and what they do. Elbit Systems Ltd, headquartered in Haifa, Israel, is a global leader in defense, homeland security, and commercial aviation solutions. Founded in 1966, they develop and supply a wide range of systems. Think airborne, land, and naval products. We're talking advanced electronics, drones, cyber defense, and precision munitions. They operate across the US, Europe, Asia-Pacific, and beyond, with nearly 20,000 employees worldwide. What stands out is their focus on innovation, constantly rolling out new tech to meet modern warfare and security needs. Their CEO, Bezalel Maklis, has been steering the ship with a focus on expanding international contracts, which we'll see reflected in their financials. For a company in the industrial sector, specifically aerospace and defense, they've carved out a solid niche. Let's see how that translates to their numbers. All right, let's talk revenue. Elbit Systems has been on a tear lately. In 2025, their full-year revenue hit $8.59 billion, a significant jump from $6.94 billion in 2024, representing about a 24% year-over-year increase. If we look back a few years, they've grown from $549 billion in 2021 to this level, showing consistent upward momentum. Breaking it down by product segments for 2023, the latest detailed split I've got. Products made up the lion's share at $5.41 billion, while services contributed $562 million. Geographically, Europe led with $1.78 billion in revenue, followed by North America at $1.42 billion and Asia-Pacific at $1.26 billion. Israel, their home base, brought in $1.17 billion. What's clear here is their global reach. 72% of their backlog is international, which shows they're not overly reliant on one market. This diversification is a big plus in the volatile defense sector. Now let's move to earnings. Elbit Systems crushed it in their latest results. For fiscal year 2025, they reported a net income of $578 million, up from $326 million in 2024. That's a massive 77% increase. Earnings per share came in at $12.65, compared to $7.22 the year prior, showing strong profitability per share. Looking at trends, their EPS has been a bit of a roller coaster, down to $4.85 in 2023, but rebounding hard since. Operating income for 2025 was $756 million, a healthy step up from $505 million in 2024. Key takeaway? They're executing well, and their margins seem to be improving despite rising costs in the industry. This kind of growth signals strong demand for their offerings, likely tied to global defense spending spikes. Diving deeper into their Q4 2024 performance, management highlighted some incredible momentum. They reported a 19% revenue increase for the quarter, driven by strong demand across airborne, land, and C4I systems. Their order backlog hit a record $28.1 billion, which is a clear sign of future revenue potential. They also pointed out growth in gross margins, thanks to a favorable sales mix and operational efficiencies. Management seems confident about 2025 and beyond, citing global defense budget increases and their strategic investments in innovation. It's clear they're positioning themselves as a go-to supplier in a tense geopolitical landscape. Let's break down the financial statements to get a clearer picture of their health. On the balance sheet for 2025, Elbit Systems had total assets of $12.66 billion, up from $10.97 billion in 2024. Cash and equivalents stand at $635 million, a nice cushion compared to $265 million last year. Total liabilities are at $8.53 billion, with a debt-to-equity ratio of 0.27, which is pretty conservative for this industry. Their current ratio sits at 1.32, showing they can cover short-term obligations comfortably. Moving to cash flows, operating cash flow for 2025 was a robust $842 million, up from $534 million in 2024, and free cash flow came in at $598 million. That's a strong sign they're generating cash to reinvest or return to shareholders. Return on equity is at 12.6%, decent for the sector, while their net profit margin is around 5.9%. Overall, the financials paint a picture of a company that's growing and managing its balance sheet responsibly. Now, let's tackle valuation, because this is where things get tricky. At the current price of around $920.75, Elbit Systems has a market cap of $42.78 billion. Their trailing PE ratio is a whopping 88.42, which is sky high compared to the aerospace and defense industry average of about 99.8. Still, it's a premium valuation. Price to sales is 5.24, also on the expensive side. Looking at forward PE estimates for 2026, analysts peg it at around 75.22, dropping to 64.29 by 2027. That suggests the market expects earnings growth to eventually catch up with the price, but it's a steep ask. Enterprise value is $41.53 billion, and with a free cash flow yield of just 1.8%, you're not getting much bang for your buck right now. My take? The valuation looks stretched at 56.65x forward earnings. They need to keep delivering flawless execution and benefit from sustained geopolitical demand to justify this price tag. Let's zoom out for a SWOT analysis to understand Elbit Systems' broader position. Starting with strengths, their financial performance is rock solid. 19% revenue growth and a $28.1 billion backlog are hard to ignore. They've got a diverse product portfolio and a strong international presence, reducing reliance on any single market. Weaknesses? Their high valuation could be a risk if growth slows, and they face margin pressures from rising costs. Opportunities are massive. Global defense spending is on the rise, and their investments in cyber and drone tech position them well for future contracts. Threats include intense competition from giants like Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, plus geopolitical risks that could shift demand overnight. Overall, they're in a strong spot, but the competitive landscape and high expectations mean they can't afford to slip up. Looking at recent performance, Elbit Systems stock has been on an absolute tear. Over the past week, it's up 7.01%, and over the last month, it gained 1.92%. Zoom out to 3 months, and we're talking a 54.72% surge. Over 1 year, the stock has skyrocketed 141.34%, and over 5 years, it's up an incredible 424.33%. Compared to the broader aerospace and defense industry, which is up 54.92% over 1 year, Elbit is outperforming by a wide margin. On the chart, we're seeing strong upward momentum, but with such a steep climb, I'd watch for potential pullbacks. Short term, the stock could face resistance if broader market sentiment shifts, but the trend is undeniably bullish.
MarketSnap brings everything long-term investors use daily into one clean, fast platform. Explore stock financials, SWOT analysis, valuation ratios, 5-year analyst estimates, and our intrinsic value calculator, built with real fundamentals, not hype. All in a layout that's simple to read and ridiculously fast to navigate. And when you want to talk investing, join Nexus, our community where investors share valuations, posts, and stock discussions, all connected directly to the data. Use our Stock's Intrinsic Value Calculator to run and save real valuations with no spreadsheets. Share your analysis and valuations with others in the Nexus community. Get daily market summaries in video, audio, and article formats. Track the market with our earnings, dividend, and economics calendar. Our homepage gives you a real-time market overview with interactive heat maps, top market movers, and major index performance at a glance. Track daily performances, discover the most active stocks, and analyze performance across different timeframes, from weekly to yearly trends, and see which industries are leading or lagging. It's free to create an account, with optional access to premium forward-looking data. Try it now at MarketSnap.com and invest with clarity, not noise. That's a wrap for today's stock market summary from MarketSnap. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to stick with us for daily updates and deep dive SWOT analyses to keep your investment strategy sharp. Whether you're navigating short-term turbulence or building wealth for the long haul, we've got the insights to help. See you tomorrow.